Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85 back today with my latest video, my latest figure review. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my Bandai Toho Kaiju series Megaguirus figure. So, obviously last time I reviewed my Bandai Orga. Now I wanted to go ahead and do Megaguirus here. She, of course, was featured in the film from 2000, Godzilla versus Megaguirus. So now I'm not too big on the Millennium series, and whatnot. So these, this movie wasn't one of my favorites, but Megaguirus herself is actually a pretty cool kaiju. And what's pretty cool is because you have the sort of like she's almost like the queen ant or queen, queen bee, whatever you want to kind of consider it, being that she is an insectoid kaiju. So sort of the drones and whatnot. You have the Meganulon and the Meganula, which were, like I said, sort of her soldiers or drones from her nest. So that was kind of cool, and especially the fact the Meganulon, the crawling insectoids, they were originally featured in the 1956 film Rodan. So that was actually a really nice callback. That's one thing that always stood out to me, and I always thought was a pretty cool callback. Plus from the film as well, with the whole usage of the that special Godzilla unit that they were developing, the black hole gun. I thought that was pretty cool. That's some cool concepts in there. And like I said, Megaguirus herself, is actually a pretty cool kaiju. So nonetheless, though, let's go ahead and jump into the figure review. Like I said, this is the Bandai Toho Kaiju series version. I do not have the tag for this, unfortunately. I did get this on eBay and definitely well overpaid for it. It was because I got stuck in a bidding war over this, and unfortunately, yes, it just kind of didn't go the greatest. But nonetheless, though, I still do cherish this figure. So let's go ahead and let's start with the paint and the detail here. So you can see Megaguirus is sort of covered in this sort of like an eclectic mix of colors. You got some sort of brownish color, especially along the, I guess you'd almost consider this like the tail area or the stinger area. They are very cool with some brown spikes there, and they are actually they're fairly sharp. Not terribly sharp, but they are fairly sharp. So some nice detail work. You got all the scales and the segments for her insectoid body there, and you can see too you got those sort of circular bumps on the underside of the tail, which is pretty cool, all the way up until the point of the stinger here, which is like a three-pronged stinger that she actually used. She stabbed Godzilla with and drained his energy when he was trying to fire his atomic blast, and she was able to emit this sort of energy ball back at him. So that was kind of a cool thing. I definitely appreciated that. So the wings here are sort of done in this silverish color, and there's a bit of black wash on them, as you guys can see. Really nice texturing and segmenting on the wings as well, with all the lines and all the different, segments there, as you guys can see, that lead out into these points here, these brownish tip points. And again, sort of this brownish grayish on the outer part of the wings on both sides, you guys can see. And of course, on the underside, more of that texturing and whatnot in the same color pattern as well. Her underbelly here, and of course, you can see the copyright information, if we could pick it up. Yeah, as best as I can. The copyright 2000, Bandai, made in China. Yeah, trying to see if because the lighting here, I'm doing the best I can. But you can sort of see it there. But you got this sort of almost maroonish, purplish color on her underbelly area. And almost these sort of muscular segments as well. And then you got the multiple legs that she's got here as well. The six smaller legs there. Nice points on the ends of them there, all again this sort of silverish gray color. It's segmented and textured. Very, very nicely done. I really appreciate that. And then you got the two front legs where the claws are there, and the claws really nicely detailed. You got some brown mixed in with the gray and silver and a bit of the black wash as well. And really, really nicely detailed. Really, really captures Megaguirus' look quite well, as you guys can see there. So I do definitely appreciate that. And then, of course, on top of her back here, sort of, I don't know, consider this like a thorax region or whatever. Like I said, I'm not too sure on bug anatomy, insect anatomy, but on the top of her back here, you got these rows of spikes, getting that sort of brownish color on the tips there, and you got some mixing of, again, sort of that maroonish purple color, and you got some of the silver gray and more of that black wash on the back. Really, really cool color scheme that they gave her. I definitely do appreciate that. And it's fairly movie accurate from what I can remember as well. There is an alternate version of this figure called the Theater Exclusive, and it has an alternate color scheme on it. That one's pretty cool as well. My buddy Godzilla Fan Freaks has that figure, and he's reviewed it previously. But I was just kind of happy to get the more traditional movie color version of it. So then you got on the face here, again, more of the mixing of the colors, the purples, the browns, gray, silver, all along the face, all the spikes towards those sort of horns on the back of the head there for her, and these sort of almost like these fin-like flaps as well on the side of her head. They're really nice texturing and detail work. You got these deep red eyes that she's got, and that's very signature of Megaguirus' design. It really looks good, and you got this sort of off-white bone color for the teeth. The top ones are pretty clean, and they are, you can see that they are actually sculpted somewhat separate from the mouth. Not fully, but they are, at least on the points, they're sculpted out. And the top ones, like I said, are fairly clean. The bottom ones the paint's a little bit messy. Obviously, they are smaller, so I'm sure it was a little bit more difficult to get the more intricate details, especially for, a vinyl figure, but still pretty good nonetheless. If you look on the inside of the mouth as well, you can see a bit of the deep red for the tongue and the roof of the mouth. It's a little hard to pick up here on the camera, so just trying to show you as best as I can. And again, the underside there, again, more of that maroonish purple color and whatnot. And so that pretty much, I think that pretty much covers it for the paint and the detail on Megaguirus. So like I said, she's got quite a bit going on. She's a really, really cool design kaiju. I definitely, like I said, even though I'm not the craziest about the film Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, I do think Megaguirus herself is a cool kaiju and a really cool design. So I definitely do appreciate that. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at articulation. And for a vinyl figure, actually not too bad, really. There's nothing in the head, so no rotation or anything. The wings, however, do have articulation, sort of. You see that there are joints here. They don't move up and down to really flap, but you see that you can rotate them. It's just the way that the joint is designed with this sort of oval shape. The rotation is going to be very limited, and I wouldn't stress it too much because you could end up popping it out of place. So you don't want to do that, but you can get some minimal rotation out of that. But then after that, all of her legs though are articulated, and they can all rotate. So as you can see, the bigger claws there, you can get decent range of motion. Because of the wing, you're not really going to get 360 rotation, they could go all the way around, but the sculpt with the wings, and then of course the sculpt of the body as well, is going to kind of limit that. But you can get the rotation though. And of course, all the smaller legs as well can rotate. Again, just the sculpt and them kind of hitting the other legs is going to limit the articulation on these. But they do all rotate. So just got the 6 smaller legs and then the 2 larger ones with the claws. So you got all 8 of those there that you get, at least to get some articulation out of, which is pretty cool, I think. And then next up, the tail does also rotate, and this is actually going to be free floating, as you guys can see, so you can actually rotate that all the way around. So pretty cool. Like I said, for a vinyl figure, not too bad for what you're getting here. It's pretty decent articulation overall, I think. So that covers it for that. Let's see here. Next up, let's go ahead and let's do some sizing. So first off, pull out the ruler here so you guys can see. We're going to measure from the tip of her mouth there, her nostril, all the way down to the tip of the stinger where that points out. And let me lift the camera so you guys can see. And you're looking at, it's a little hard to pick it up, but from what I can see here, you're looking at just about 7 inches. I know it's not really picking up the 7 well. You can see it a little bit there. But yeah, from the tip of the nose there all the way down to the tip of the stinger, she's about 7 inches long. So pretty decent size. And to do a size comparison, I'll go ahead and bring out a figure I reviewed last week. The Bandai Toho Kaiju series Orga. And you guys can see how these stack up against each other. I know they didn't appear on film in each other, but they were in, she was in the movie that followed up from his, So, and I believe Godzilla was actually the same height in both films. So you guys can see the way that these do size up with each other here. And they actually look pretty good together, I think, honestly. They size up quite well. They're both from that, like I said, that Bandai Toho Kaiju series line, so definitely makes sense why they do size in pretty well together. But, nonetheless, though, she will size in well with your 6 to 7 inch figures, though, absolutely. So that pretty much covers it for the sizing. For the price, now, again, this is an older released figure from Bandai, and it is fairly rare. Now, like I said, I overpaid because of that bidding war, but what you're looking at nowadays, from what I've seen, if you're going to check on eBay and whatnot, you're looking at probably around the $100 range. So you do have to keep that in mind. So she's actually, from what I've seen, even a little bit more expensive than Orga. But if you're in the market and you want a good quality Megaguirus figure in your collection, I do highly recommend this. If you're willing to pay to play, I think Bandai did a fantastic job here with Megaguirus. But other than that, though, folks, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I would definitely like to thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And per my buddy Godzilla Fan Freak suggestion, if you want, go ahead and nuclear pulse the subscribe and nuclear pulse the like. So keep that in mind, folks. All right. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.